I mean, New Orleans swagger exists and it has everything to do with its food. People are incredibly proud of this idea that the food in New Orleans is more delicious than it is anywhere else. It props the city up.
The food of New Orleans is a point of pride bordering on obsession. Nowhere else will you find this melting pot of French, Spanish, African, Native American, and Caribbean flavor all mixed up. Adding to the mix, NOLA's Vietnamese community has brought their national sandwich, the banh mi, to po' boy country. Now the lines are blurring in sandwiches like this. So what do you get when you mash up the Mississippi Delta and the Mekong Delta? I'm gonna eat my way to an answer.
Directly after the Vietnam War, there was a large influx of Vietnamese to South Louisiana.
New Orleans and really all of the Gulf Coast really stepped up in welcoming refugees.
There were all these parallels. River deltas, brackish water seafood, similar growing seasons. We all grew up eating po' boys, and then later grew up eating a lot of banh mi.
You know, you have the banh mi and the po' boy, which are these kind of like kissing cousins.
A po' boy is our southern version of, I guess, of like a sub.
It's a sandwich built on a long piece of French bread. It's a specific kind of New Orleans style French bread.
Traditionally, banh mi have a mayonnaise on it or an aioli, fresh cucumber, jalapeno, pickled carrot, mint, cilantro.
The original Vietnamese restaurants that were serving banh mi used the po' boy to sell their banh mi. And so that on the menu, they would call their sandwiches Vietnamese po' boys because of that similarity.
Before we get into how people are mixing and matching the banh mi and the po' boy sandwiches, I gotta check out my old friend, a New Orleans legend, Currency. He's gonna get into the foundation, the po' boy.
The reason it's called a po' boy is because the French bread was easier to get. It's filling. You know, so the science behind this sandwich is pretty affordable. So it was a po' boy, because the poor boys could afford it. And look how simple mine is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll slide up, you might think I'm about to get some elaborate big money sandwich, but this is it. This is a quality piece of catfish.
Okay.
Fried at cast nets. You got mayonnaise, you got pickles.
Yeah.
You got a Whopper and a seafood platter on French bread right there. That's good. The best thing about a po' boy is you can do it any kind of way. It's like a Chevy. Funkmaster Flex, he likes 65 Impalas, but he likes them with big wheels on them. I like them as lowriders. So a po' boy is like a Chevy, and you can do it however you want, but it's still a Chevy.
I'm originally from Chicago. They have hot beef sandwiches in Chicago, right?
Is
That's
that
like that's a big thing. I don't really eat those because I feel like that's almost something that tourists eat. Whereas here in New Orleans, po' boys, you're eating po' boys.
Yeah, like, were you raised on that beef sandwich?
No, it was just a thing that everybody talked about.
Yeah, nah, like, we don't talk about this. Like, you raised on this. There's French bread in your house. And if everybody's gone and you're 10 years old, you still know how to work the microwave. And it's nothing to take the catfish your mom fried last night and put it, you know what I'm saying?
You grew up with French baguettes in your house.
In the house, yeah.
You don't recognize how unusual that is.
Oh.
Not a loaf of
Well, I always
Wonder
felt
bread.
like I was unique, you know, I always felt like it. My whole city is pretty damn unique then, man. We're not normal. New Orleanians are resilient. Wouldn't our sandwich be the po' boy? Come on, we go through a lot. We've been through a lot. They just had a fucking tornado like a couple weeks ago. All this shit is all, like, if you see all that going on, all these people lost all their houses and shit again. What are you going to do, you know? Get a po' boy.
Currency is clearly about that po' boy life. But growing up with Vietnamese American classmates, he ate banh mi sandwiches at friends' houses without even knowing it. Not far from where Currency grew up is the Vietnamese neighborhood of Village l'Est. That's where my friend Kai helps run the Veggie Farmers Co-op. Both the fresh produce and the banh mi from this community have become staples throughout the city. This urban farm was started by you guys to find jobs for the Vietnamese community. after the BP oil spill. Maybe they were fishing before that, now they're farming, the connective tissue is still food. Can you speak to what food means for this community?
It's always been something that they've had in their blood, basically, to survive in a new place, in a new community, and they've built that out over 40 years here.
Asian Americans and Asian immigrants a lot of times will operate in isolation from the rest of America.
In the aftermath of Katrina with the redevelopment plans, the city didn't really even realize that the community out here had come back in large numbers. We organized together, young and old, to shut down a landfill that was put here after Katrina because they figured, oh, you know, like these Asian Americans, they won't say anything. Everyone now recognizes this as the powerful community.
The interesting thing is the food that you guys are growing or fishing in New Orleans is not just for the Vietnamese community at this point. It's also the way that you guys interact with the larger community of New Orleans.
We do farmers markets. We sell to restaurants such as Mofo with John Besh restaurants, Donald Link restaurants. You see like so many more Vietnamese restaurants in the city. I think within the last 10 years, it's exploded.
You also mentioned a bakery that's very important to the community. What is that?
Dong Phuong has the bread that every banh mi place in New Orleans basically uses.
Can we eat there?
Yes.
Let's go.
This bread is kind of the most famous part of this community, really.
It's a brand name that people are proud of.
Exactly. You know, people come from all over the city to come here for the bread.
What is it about it that everybody's sort of latching onto?
I think like if you're able to like eat it, like try one, you'll see like if the inside is just like, it just melts in your mouth.
Now, the bread itself that's here, it's so signature to Dong Phuong, but po' boy shops are now sort of adopting it.
It's just good to see that there are different ways to make a po' boy, or there are different ways to make banh mi, and there's ways to like marry the two cultures as well. In New Orleans, like food is a huge unifier, you know, like if you can cook, if the food is good, people will flock to it.
It's evident how important the Dong Phuong bakery and restaurant is to the Vietnamese community in New Orleans, but this bread is spreading all around New Orleans. People are taking the same banh mi bread and kind of remixing it and making it their own. We gotta go find that. I know we're here for lunch, but we're at a gas station and I see a po' boy shop over there. So what's going on?
In Louisiana, gas stations have the best food, but attached to this gas station is Banh Mi Boys. In Banh Mi Boys, not only do they serve banh mi, they serve po' boys. It's the only place I know of where both sandwiches can exist as their own.
Side by side in perfect harmony.
So we have two sides of the menu, banh mi, po' boys.
Yeah.
Frequent customers will come in here and mix and match.
Let's make up something new.
Yeah, soft shell's in season right now.
Okay.
So let's get soft shell crab.
And you wanted, would you like that on a 5-inch po' boy, 10-inch po' boy?
Well, let's get it on banh mi. Peter Nguyen is the owner, and Peter's mom wanted to open a po' boy shop. He argued for a Vietnamese restaurant, specifically for a banh mi restaurant.
Everybody sells po' boys over here, so I really want to incorporate our Vietnamese side, and really nobody's really taking banh mi to the next level. So I have people that come in and actually get everything that goes on a banh mi, but on a 10-inch po' boy, and then have people that want something like a hot sausage patty on a banh mi dressed with our vegetables.
Besides what we have here at Banh Mi Boys, are there other businesses that are doing these sort of mashups?
Michael Galata left the premier restaurant in the city, it's August, to open his own place called Mofo.
Should you be messing with the original po' boy? I mean, you're starting fist fights. If you're gonna use bread for your po' boys, traditionally you're gonna use a Leidenheimer, or if you're gonna make banh mi, you're gonna use Dong Phuong. We work to make sort of a hybrid where it's a little bit lighter on the inside, still nice and crunchy on the outside.
These sandwiches, they're not po' boys, they're not banh mi, but they really resemble the two.
I love the fresh flavors of a banh mi, the mint, the cilantro, the pickles, but I love the proteins that I grew up with, which is the shrimp, the oysters, the hot sausage. So One of the greatest things about New Orleans is that we assimilate all cultures.
New Orleans is a Creole city, and that word Creole originally just meant mashup. It meant people from someplace else, and some other people maybe from someplace else, and they come here and they make new people.
New Orleans is proud of their Vietnamese community, and the Vietnamese people are like super proud to be like in New Orleans.
They're a huge part of our infrastructure, and their food has become a huge part of our cuisine.
I think the Vietnamese po' boy, it's just a sandwich, but I think it's an important chapter in the modern story of New Orleans food. It is the one dish that I think you can point to demonstrate to an outsider that this food isn't static, that it isn't just jambalaya and gumbo, that it has always evolved and it continues to evolve. You know, that says a lot, you know, for a sandwich.